And welcome everyone to the Man Cave. My name is Paul Knapp, and I will be your host for tonight's show. This is season number 3, episode number 18 already. And waiting in the green room is the one and only Michele D. So she's been in the chat room for, I'd say, last couple months chatting away. So we finally dragged her on, and we're going to find out all about her. But before we get started, we're going to bring in some guests on our panel tonight. And as always, we have this guy right here from New Hampshire. Big sexy himself, Mr. Rick Bradshaw. How you doing tonight?
Good. Heidi ho, everybody. How's it going?
We also have our school teacher, as always, Mr. Angelo D'Annabelle. How are you?
Angelo.
Wonderful, everyone. Happy evening.
Dude, you look like you just got done teaching and
I just jumped out of the shower. I was working out back. You know, it's still daylight hours over here. I got to get as much done as possible.
We have somebody else that's always in the chat room, and we finally dragged him on the show once again. Moondoggy himself, Edmund Jesus. How are you, sir?
Good. How's everybody doing?
How are you, man? Dude.
What's up, Edmund?
Good.
I'm happy for tonight, man. I was gonna say this is our first female guest, but remember Open by Chance, but that was a team. You know what I mean? So I guess she's our first
single
guest.
solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can say that. But we did have a female on once before, so yeah, man. Getting some people in the chat room. Anybody want to go through the names? Moondoggy, you're new to this. Why don't you start saying who's all in the chat room right now?
I don't know. I'm on my phone. This is kind of weird.
You can't even see it. Let's see. We got Lone Wolf was up first. How you doing? We got my sister Barb. Thank you, Ernie, and from Ernie's Attic. Ernie, I hope you're feeling better as well, man. I hear you're down for a while too. Big Boss Jack.
Jojo Mike, 26 and counting, brother. 26 full and counting. Sorry.
Okay, so Michele D, you got to chat in the chat room, not private chat to me. I'm the only one seeing that.
Yeah. Yeah, private chat. I don't know. I can't do that either. I can't.
You can't. Yeah, you can, because Stacy always does.
Yeah, he does. But
if you go right to the bottom of the chat, if you're on your computer, if you go right to the bottom of the chat, you'll see a little R there. And just type in what you want to say to people, like, hey, everyone. And that just came from me.
No doubt.
Yeah, see, I can't get to that R. It won't let me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't see an R either.
Yeah.
You don't have a flashing little. I wonder how Stacy does it, because he does it all the time.
Well, that's because
Mike's GI Dojo's with us tonight.
Yeah.
Matthew O'Connor.
Yeah.
Patrick Grain.
Big Boss Jack.
Patrick, we're going to have a good show tomorrow as well, because Rick Bradshaw brought somebody for us tomorrow as well. You got tonight's guest and tomorrow's guest.
Whoa.
I do?
Yeah. It was the gentleman that wrote the book.
Oh, Russ. Yeah. I forgot he was on. Yeah, that's cool.
He's on tomorrow. I was like, I didn't know him till you told me about him, and then I got hooked up with him. So
yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah. So
Stacy's still juggling grapefruit.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Yeah, poor Stacy. He's down for a little while. So
yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to go around and say what's new in your zoo. Moondoggy, since you haven't been on in a while, we're going to start with you, brother. How you doing?
Doing good. I have a few things. I got one of these the other day from a guy here in Nebraska.
Nice.
Oh,
wow.
Nice.
You got to have one of those, or 2 or 3, maybe 5.
Yeah, I got it for I think $25 or something like that, $30.
Oh wow, that's
Price,
good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Then I haven't gotten any action figures, so I framed these guys.
Oh, that's
Very
cool.
nice.
I never even thought about doing that. I have those. You
Yep.
switched your camera again on me, man. You screwed me up.
Oh, I did. My bad.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Nice.
All 4 of them. I did all 4.
Oh, I think I
Can't
only
grab
have. I don't think I only have 2.
Do they still have the record inside, Moondog?
I only have one with the record.
Yeah.
Only one
don't
has
have
the-
that one.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, only one has the record, and then that's it. I got these little guys.
Uh-oh.
There it goes. It's
Well,
all done.
hey, they're these guys have a little bit of articulation. Like the
Wow.
hands move, the waist moves, and I got these guys too, these soldiers. This is
Oh
all
yeah.
Paul's fault.
Yeah.
I know, man. I got you started on 132nd scale, baby.
Yep,
Woo.
got me hooked. That's about it. That's all I have right now.
Dude, I'm gonna push you towards some uh dealers, some manufacturers that aren't as expensive, so you can get some decent stuff. You know,
Okay.
and not pay like 3D printer price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, because you can
Yeah.
go down
Just
the
send me.
rabbit hole real quick, man.
Yeah.
Start spending money, but
Hey, I'm already hooked up with these. I'm like, damn, I want some more.
you sent me that picture of your daughter playing with them. That was freaking awesome, man.
Yep.
I was
Oh yeah,
loving it.
my daughter loves. She loves playing those. She loves it.
Very cool. I might have to send her a play set, man.
Yeah.
Since Angelo didn't buy one of mine, I'll have to send you.
Sorry, man.
Angelo,
got-
you got no space in that room.
I got no room. I have no room for anything else, man. I got to start doing what Rick's doing and start giving away stuff.
All right, old man. Tell us
All
what's new in your zoo, brother.
All right, what's new in the zoo? Well, let's see. I always got to talk a little bit about school because that's kind of the way I roll. So we just finished the New York State testing the last 2 weeks. Poor kids. I mean, nonstop testing. The New York State science test was 2.5 hours, and the kids were still working. Cruel and unusual punishment, as far as I'm concerned. And then when the nice weather hits, teachers are still keeping these poor kids inside. So I'm like, what the hell's the matter with you? These kids just work their ass off for 2 weeks straight. And the sun is shining. They haven't been outside because it's done nothing but rain for the last 14 days. So today we decided we went to the nature trail for the whole afternoon. We brought our lunches, went down to the trail, sat on the picnic tables, ate lunch. Then they all jumped in the creek. It was awesome. There's a little waterfall. The kids were sitting in the waterfall. Oh, we had an absolute blast. I didn't bring my figures this time because I was a little worried because we had so much rain. I wanted to make sure I keep track. Anyone didn't float away. But I was the only one outside. It's an elementary school. And these people keep these poor kids locked inside. And I said, what the hell? How much data do you really need? That's my rant for school. Next, been working outside, bought a new, Rick, you'd be happy. I bought a new weight set. This guy had this Power, I think it's called Power Tech. It was old set, $2,500 brand new. I got it for $300.
Nice.
My son and I took off. We drove to Dolgeville. Never even heard of it. Dolgeville is an hour and 10 minutes away. Loaded up my truck. My truck was like doing a wheelie on the way home. It was so heavy. So it's no joke, some cool stuff. So that's it. I talked school, talked to life, and now we'll talk a little bit about the hobby. So since we have a lady in the house this evening, I was looking through some of my stuff, and I found actually on clearance. I purchased these a few months ago, maybe even longer than that. They're cool. They're Barbie, and this one says Helping Women series. Bessie Coleman. I'm not familiar who she was, but it looks like World War I-esque. Very cool. Barbie, and I think they're fairly articulated. And then this one is Ida B. Wells, another one from the historic series.
Great outfit.
Right. For $10, they were $35, marked down to 24 to 10.
Oh, yeah,
And then the last thing, so Paul, see, I didn't show anything 112 today. You should be so happy.
Rick will make up for it. Don't worry.
So this
That's a Rick head.
a buddy of mine wanted. I got to get my camera like better. Right? Rick knows how to do this really nice. So this head has one glass eye. I took a very small drill and I drilled through the back of the head and through the eyeball, and I put a tiny little crystal-like bead, a light blue bead, just in the pupil of the eye, so you can't even really tell that there's anything different. And then, if you'll notice,
turn the light on. Oh shit!
little battery pack. So
that's freaking awesome, man.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, you can't really tell with the light off.
No, at all. And like I said, I was so happy about this because I've seen some where they're so much bigger and they have their plastic eye inside and it takes up the whole entire eyeball. I didn't want that look. I wanted it to look as kind of natural as possible. So I found they were one 2 millimeter beads, and they're so tiny. I'm like, I had my goggles on, and then I had my tweezers, and after I drilled a hole, I had to super glue to make sure it was just right. But it was, I think it came out really well. I think the person that I made it for is happy with it. So cool stuff.
Lone Wolf wants to know if that was Michelle Obama. That was not Michelle Obama.
This one?
Kind of looks like her a little bit.
No,
Barbie, they all kind of have the same face.
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. All right, boss.
That's it.
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So, Rick and I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So what, are you still making the trip with us? That's what
I
we need to
am.
know.
What do you need?
No. Last week or 2 weeks ago was 95%. So what are we up to now?
You need down payment or something?
No, I'm just checking.
You need blood?
I need to know if I need to call your wife and ask permission. If
you need she just want me out of the house anyway. That don't matter. She'll be happy. Whew.
Dude, there's a new pope. She should be happy. She should be
Yes. The Siena faculty and all the brothers and the friars over at Siena College are very happy since it is,
American.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
So there you have it.
So be backstage. You said like 97% now, or what? 97.5.
I'm good to go. As soon as Rick pulls up, I'll get in the truck. I just might want to take some stuff to get rid of. If
room.
If Rick has the room, and then we'll have to bully somebody and get on their table.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I know.
So someone will let you know.
All right, here's our driver for the Kentuckiana show, Rick.
Yep.
And Rick, everybody's chatting in the chat room saying, "Where did all your toys go, man? Like,
changed up the room, different room."
Gone. I got rid of them. They're all gone. Everything's
really?
gone.
I have them over here in my house.
You were serious about getting rid of all your toys.
Yeah, he's not in the basement anymore.
I had a semi truck pull up and I loaded it and sent it to Nebraska.
They're all here.
Okay, so I have a 1/6 scale figure. How's this?
Oh wow!
Ooh.
Does that outfit look familiar, Angela? Do you have one of these?
I do not.
This was an eBay score. You could buy these wicked cheap. They were really nice. I think they're still on there too. Nice kimono type thing.
Yeah, that is sweet.
Samurai outfit.
Yes.
And the figure is, I found him in a antique shop. He's some kind of manga figure. Manga.
Yeah, I don't know either.
He actually comes dressed in a high school outfit, like an athletic leather jacket and
really
white pants and cowboy boots. I don't know what the scoop is, but I thought it'd make a cool ninja looking guy or a samurai looking guy.
Yeah, no, that's a great outfit and good. Yeah.
And fully articulated. It's good.
Nice.
Good hair.
Is that the same body though? Or is it is the head on a different body?
I think it's the same body that came with it. I can't remember though. And
because he's pretty buff. It's the chest, the torso is pretty big.
Well, he's got another outfit on underneath there.
Okay.
So he's puffed up.
Yeah.
And they came out with ROM.
Yep.
Yeah.
Came out with ROM. I showed this on Jeff Shearer's show.
I was gonna say Jeff was talking about those. Yeah.
This is a cool figure.
Yeah.
GI Cougar. That's funny.
Wow.
So ROM is nice. Much sought after. Everyone's trying to get him. And I did buy, even though I'm not supposed to be buying, I did buy Lieutenant James Gordon from Batman Year One. This is McFarlane. I haven't opened them yet.
And those are 7-inch, right? Because they're a little bit bigger than the 112.
Yeah, his 112 isn't 112.
Okay, yeah. Because I got a couple and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. These guys are a little on the big side.
They don't, but they're cool figures in their own, if you know.
Yeah.
And then I found the Chase variant of
I like that.
So he comes, this is what he usually looks like.
Yeah.
And they did the Chase. And I have the other one coming from McFarlane, which was supposed to ship last month, and it still hasn't shipped. Meanwhile, every other place has it already. I could just buy it from GameStop, but I'm waiting on McFarlane. So That's it. That's all I got.
That's it, huh?
Now, Rick, the little half faces on with that figure,
Yeah.
are they just like a mask that fits over the original head?
His face that's on the figure will pop off, and you just pop the
Put
other
a different
face
one on. Cool.
That's kind of a new thing he's been doing.
Okay.
And the cool thing about the Batmans and the Supermans, I think I showed this, is he's doing capes with wires in them.
Oh, that's nice.
Instead of just being like a vinyl cape that just kind of hangs there.
Right.
This is nice, you know.
Yeah, you can pose that anyway.
But now he doesn't have the license anymore. He's lost the license from it for DC. So just as his figures are starting to get really nice, he's not going to make them anymore.
Yeah, right.
Of course.
So
Of course.
whatever.
So
We'll see what happens.
hey, Rick, before we bring in Michele D, do you want to do the video so that we're not taking away from her time?
Yeah. So the video coming up is from West Coast Bigfoot 68 on Instagram. His name is Chris Andrea, and he lives in England. And he watches the show, but he watches it as a restream because he's sleeping right now. And he sent some pictures that we can look at, and it'll give you an idea of what his Instagram looks like.
Let's see if I can pull it up here. I want to make that.
I've been wanting one of those vehicles.
There you go.
Those are so hard to
I have
find.
one, Angelo.
Yeah. You have one?
There you go.
Unless I sold it, I don't think I did. So that's
Bring it to Kentucky. Bring it to Kentucky. We'll swap out
all right.
something.
That's one of his customs. I believe he did the custom Joe. You know, the green face.
Yeah, the green face. That looks
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
Jeff's joining us. Hey, Jeff. How's it going, buddy?
Ah, Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Let's see what's next.
Hey,
So
Jeff.
that figure is an HMA, His Majesty's, what do they call them? It's actually an English toy that Palatoy. It's to mimic the Palatoys. They have moving eyes, but they're only like 9 inches tall. They're not 12 inches. It's a cool
Interesting.
HMF Armed Forces. That's what it's called.
Oh, wow.
You can find them over here, but mostly they're in England. Nice shot with the
Oh yeah, good perspective with
Yeah,
the
yeah, right.
dinosaur.
Here's another one. Nice Africa core Palatoy with the, I believe that looks like a Migo mummy to me. Great background.
Female figure look like
The mummy.
the Africa
that's
core.
a German
looks female.
Yeah, that's German.
Action Man, right? Or,
Yeah, I think so. Action Man. I think most of his stuff is Action Man.
Yeah.
This is
Planet
it's
of
a
the Apes.
NECA.
Wow.
Planet of the Apes. Nice.
Still terrified by Planet of the Apes. When I was a kid watching that, oh man,
This is Action Man.
nice bike. Yeah.
What-
That's
what
a cool
motorcycle
ride.
is that? I don't even recognize that.
Yeah, I don't know. It
Yeah,
could
I
be
know.
Action Man, but yeah, because they had stuff over there. They never made it over here. Yeah, Murray, Her Majesty's Armed Forces. Yes, that's exactly what they.
That's what it was.
Yeah. That's a knockoff Joe, like not a Joe. The dog is knockoff. I have one of those. Has cool cloth pouches on it. It's like Ultra Cores, something like that.
What scale is this? 1/6?
That's 1/6. Yeah, it's a neat dog.
I'm trying to make out the figure in the background, but I guess it's probably a Palatoy Action Man.
I can't make him out. He does have some classic collection stuff. So
Yeah. Couple more.
yeah, another couple of customs.
Iron Blood.
Yeah.
Baron
Yeah.
Iron Blood.
And what's in the back? Looks like almost
That's
like
the green guy from the first shot. I think it looks like.
Yeah, it's
Unless
okay.
It's got him on a mech suit. I think.
that's
Yeah.
what it looks like. Yep.
It's hard to tell. The pictures are small. This is a nice shot. The way he used the buildings in the background.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. No,
I don't recognize that robot.
no. Probably something they don't sell over here.
Yeah.
It's nice. Goes well with the Joe.
Yeah.
There's a big trapper.
He painted that, huh?
No, I think they
There
were
was a-
green too.
Yeah, there was a green version.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think the Action Man version was green.
Just like the helicopter, huh? Yeah.
Yes.
That's the last one here.
Minesweeper set. Yeah.
Oh, that looks like one of Edmund's recreation of the pictures from
Yeah.
the book.
Oh yeah,
that you've
from the
been
book,
doing.
yeah, that I've been doing. Yeah.
Right?
Nice. So if you want to see more of West Coast Bigfoot stuff, look him up on Instagram, West Coast Bigfoot _68. Give him a follow and you can peruse
All
it.
right. We're gonna have to find out where the name came from. West Coast
I know.
Bigfoot, and out of England. It's just
Yeah.
like, huh?
I know.
Unless you guys will throw everybody off.
Well, they do have Bigfoot over there.
Yeah, they do. They have seen him over there.
Yeah, there's sightings. Yeah.
All right, guys. You know what they say? Never keep a woman waiting.
Uh-oh.
And she's sitting there. She's got a scowl on her face already. I can see it in the green room. Here she-
I thought it was pertaining to me.
Oh.
Me up.
I wouldn't do that to you. Not on my show. Here she is, the one and only Michele D.
Hey.
Hello.
Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's nice to get people that normally chat in the chat room to actually come on the show.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm excited to meet you guys.
Well, apparently you
Are
and
you
Rick
sure?
go way back.
Yes, because you guys are so crazy. You make me laugh every time while I'm chatting with everybody. You make me laugh.
That's good.
We're glad to have you on.
Yeah.
Again, second female. I corrected myself, but first solo female, which is cool.
Yeah.
And how'd you get started in? You talked a little bit in the green room, but how did you get started with this whole thing? I mean, we just
It was only by chance. I'm more of a photographer, like just nature photographer. So I started to just add a few like figures to it, and then I realized I enjoyed that. So that's how I started.
what was your first toy to add into your photography?
Well, my first one, and you know what? I don't know too much about like the figures itself. I just intuitively go, but this one was my first one.
Cool. Angelo, you probably know these.
Is that
I'm having a hard time. It's a little blurry
Yeah,
for me.
For me
bud.
too.
it's Evil Lynn, isn't it?
Oh, is
Well-
that Evil Lynn?
Yeah. From Masters of the Universe.
Oh, for Masters of the Universe, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was fun, because the whole just it was fun to work with. It's not exactly my style, but it is.
Yep.
I'm more of like, I'll show you, more of like these because I'm
That's
girly.
fine. That's
but
fine.
I like these,
Yeah.
and I use those with like the flowers and trees and whatever. But I use those, and I tell a story. So basically, that's where I've gotten into everything, and just tell a story about everything.
I didn't realize those
size,
dolls were so big. I thought they were way smaller.
These no, these dolls are huge. I know it's hard to use this one particular
Yeah.
because it's hard to like the whole size difference when you use stuff.
Yeah.
But this one's not bad. But these three here, I use a lot of.
Yeah.
And these two I think they're called Royal High Dark Fairies. But anyways, they're really fun to work with. And I mean Anna, which you know from Frozen, she's fun to work with.
Mike's GI Dojo
So-
said Rainbow High. Was that the line? Or brats? Are they brats? Are they small brats?
I don't think they're.
My daughter had brats, and they were about the
Which
size
ones?
of Barbie dolls.
I mean, I don't know the whole like the size of them, but like maybe brats.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I've been trying to not go all girly because I've been trying to just learn new ways of doing things. So I have this guy, and
X-Files.
I have these.
Yep. You got one of those back here. Gotta have
these two guys, which was from Lord of the Rings, I
those are Lord
believe,
of the
but I don't
Rings
know their
there, yeah.
names.
a couple
Yeah.
hobbits.
Those are cool.
And I got those in an antique shop. I love antique shops, so that's one of my things.
That was my
I
next
go to
question
a
to
lot
ask you.
and
Where do you find
find.
most of your stuff? You just
Right.
So some of them are hand me downs.
Yeah.
Some of them antique shop. These two.
Oh, she
Oh.
froze.
She froze. Frozen.
3 I
She's still
have
there.
are because I have a 16-year-old, so he has lots of toys. So I've kind of reshopped in his shopping cart. And these guys I've found in his bunch.
Is that a Ghost Rider?
Yeah, that's a Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
This one's one of my favorite because it's you know, it's solid. It's armor, so it's really fun to work with. But I'm also a lot of into props and stuff. I love adding things to the figures. So I have I got a donkey, I got a snake, you know, I got a rat, I got a cage, you know, it's fun. But
I want you to break out that one you showed me earlier before everybody was on the big.
the
It
hairy
looks like
one.
something.
He's
It looks
so
like something
cute,
Jeff Shear
though.
made.
Look at him.
That's the guy from Andromeda, isn't it?
He's so
That looks-
cute. I love him.
Wow.
Yeah,
That looks
that-
like a monster Jeff Shear would have made, man. That thing is huge.
Yes,
big.
Agreed.
That's
Agreed.
Rev Ben from Andromeda. Yeah, you're right.
Andromeda.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only worked with him once. I only posted one thing with him. But I don't know. There's something about him.
So you consider moving from pictures to videos? Or no?
Videos.
You're more of a photographer?
You know, the funny thing is somebody has mentioned that to me about videos, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm into the videos thing, but I love photography.
Yeah.
You know, you never know what the future holds, I think, but I don't know. I'm more into photography and photograph of nature and things. That's where I started, and then this came about. So you never know where this goes.
So now do you?
So
Yeah.
Michele, how do you have your figures displayed? Do you have them in bins where you just take them out?
There's
based
no
on
bins.
a need.
There's one box, and I always say I'm going to keep it to a box. But you know what? I already know that I'm not going to keep it to a box. Here's my box. Here's my box. Okay, here's my box. This is what I have so far, stuff in it, but it's already going to start. It already overflows, and then I have my basket of stuff that I put in. So it's that collection that starts to happen.
Because you have a nice big wall behind you that would love some shelves.
I know.
He's not a collector. She's a photographer. She already told me that.
Well, that's how it is. That you need a lot
That's
of
how it
things
starts,
to
man. That's
photograph.
how it starts.
It does start that way, and I actually appreciate people who collect a lot of things because they put a lot of time and effort, but it takes a lot of money.
Yep.
Not everybody has that. So I
No.
try to grab props for what I have, and I'm very intuitive. So I grab things that just intuitively help me to say, hey, I want that, and I'm going to grab props for that, and I'm going to take pictures of that. I'm going to tell a story for that. That's all.
So walk us through when you're going to go take a photograph. Do you come up with the idea for this story, then go look for where to take the pictures, or do you have the figures and you say, oh, I need to fit these figures into a certain background? How do you go? Talk us through that.
Yep. I take the figures. I just grab figures. I grab some props. I have a backpack. I kind of put that in there. I walk and I just kind of look and I say, yep, that's the place. And I take a picture. That's
great. What are you using for to take
my
the pictures?
phone. Yep.
Yeah.
I do a lot of macro photography in the first place. In normal photography, I'll do a lot of just whatever nature. I'm just into macro, just close up. So it's very easy for me to do this stuff. but I enjoy the story behind it. I enjoy like sometimes it's personal, to be honest, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just fun. And even
So,
in the
Right.
Playhouse group, you know, I've noticed like a lot of people doing a lot of stories, a lot of you know, captions to their photos, and I truly enjoy that. I've seen more and more. I've only been in there probably a couple months. I'm thinking I was going to look back to see when I started, but it's been a couple months, and I've really enjoyed watching people grow in that group, which I feel they've been growing.
You got a couple questions in the chat room. Matthew O'Connor, he says, "Do you use force perspective, different scales?"
You know, I'm still new to this, so the scales. I'm thinking. I think I use, you know, whatever this scale is mostly. I like using.
Yeah.
Maybe someone can help me with that scale, but that's the scale that I usually like using. It's a little harder. I mean, this figure, the first time I used it, I really enjoyed it, but there was a certain place that I was like, you know what? Capturing it right there. And that's where I captured it. I knew this would work. I'm still learning, but what's crazy is I learned from all the people that post. So from everybody that, because I'm only in, you know, one group, you know, possibly in another group, but it's like I learn from people that are posting things to actually understand how to work this, because I'm more a photographer, like I said, not like a proportionate, you know,
Yeah.
understanding.
So you're running into challenges trying to do toy photography. Yes?
I do, but I take on the challenges.
That's good. Now going out in nature or out in the public with your figures to take pictures. Get that side eye. You get someone looking at you like, "Whoa, what are you doing there with the dollies and the toys, taking pictures, lady?"
You know, the funny
Because
thing is,
I do the same. I've taken many a pictures, and I do my own photo comic, and I've done that for probably now it's going over 10 years, and I have several photo comics, and I've done many pictures out where people look at you, you know, and I'll be in the middle of a creek and with my chest waders on, and people come by and they're like, "What the hell's this guy doing?" So
believe it or not, I know, and that I understand that question, but ever since I become a mom, I've ignored people because there are just crazy things that happen, you know, with you and your child and blah blah blah. So it's like I ignore people because people are crazy anyways. They're doing their own crazy things.
Sure.
Why would you worry about what you're doing? So what? You're taking pictures.
that's right.
So what?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. As long as you enjoy what
Yep.
you're doing and having
I
fun.
do, and that's the thing. I don't actually. I mean, I know they're there. Of course, I see they're there, but I'm like, who cares? Whatever. If they want to ask questions, sure. Here you go. Yep, this is a doll.
Yeah.
I'm taking pictures in the forest. I don't care. You know, I've never been like that, like in my past, but since I've been a mom and since I've grown into myself a little more, I think I don't care. I really don't care.
Yep. Mike's
Perfect.
GI Dojo said it's probably easier for a woman. I don't know. Do you get? You probably still get the looks, right?
I mean, it probably is easier for a woman. I'm not doubting that, but I would
A guy
also
playing with toys is trying to lure in a
I
little
would
kid.
still
where-
I know, and it's
You know.
weird. It's weird. It's still weird for the concept of a woman to say, you know, your man is playing with toys. But if you look at it in a different perspective, it's kind of, you know, fun. It's interesting. It's like be a child, play. It's like, yeah, you have a serious life, you have a job, you have to raise kids, probably have money, blah 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 blah. But what, you know, this is your downtime.
Right. It's a good
So-
hobby. Yep. Edmund, you want to help give her
Well,
any
I-
perspectives on taking photography? I mean, you've been doing it for a while. All three of you guys. I'm the only one here that's not a photographer.
Yeah,
All
but
four
you
of
are going to. You are going to.
I am a
You
collector.
will.
And I host a show.
One
That's all I do.
time, and you'll see.
Yeah.
I say, I mean, the more you practice, I mean, the more you learn, you know, how to do it. Like when I started, it was just, I mean, I go back to my older pictures and it's just like, I'm like, man, that looked terrible. And, but the more you practice, the more you look at other people's, what they do, you kind of get an idea of what, what, how to do things. And then you start getting other ideas on your own. And that's when you basically kind of take off from there. I mean, that's how I've done it. And then you develop your own style there after that. So
Yeah.
You continually develop your style.
yeah.
And keep going with it. And yeah, learn how to frame a picture and learn how to tell your story. And there's certain tricks to make everything stand out.
Rick, do you take most of your pictures inside or outside? Are you an outside guy?
A lot of outside, inside in the winter, because it's cold.
I know
But
Angelo's more of an outside guy, right? You're more of an outside guy.
Yeah. Yeah, with the 1/6 scale, definitely outdoors is my preference with 1/6. The 1/12 that I've been doing lately, it's a lot easier because they're so much smaller. So that if I have the dioramas in the background, I can put it on a table, and I could shoot like that. I know Edmund does a lot of his shots seem to be staged indoors. But like I said, the 1/6, I like the grandiose, the outside. Being down by the water or out in the snow. I like to be in the elements when I take pictures with the 1/6. And as Michele was saying, the greatest thing is to create that story, whether you have it already in your head and you've envisioned the story and what you want to happen, and then you actually take the picture and now you have it imprinted. That story is now captured. Or if you're going out and then the story just comes on its own. So I work the other way where I really map everything out in advance. I write, lengthy stories that are pages upon pages long. And then I kind of storyboard everything. So I have an idea of what I need in order to have that shot. And then I'll drive around the village here in Ballston Spa, and I'll find just the right location where I'm going to do my photo shoot. And I'll spend a good half a day setting up, bringing all my things down and taking pictures. So it can be a lot of work, but the satisfaction behind it and having those stories come to life. I think that when we were kids, when we did that imaginative play, there was only a certain extent where you could get as far with your imagination. You couldn't always go to the next level, I think. And now as an adult, you can make it more advanced. You can create that story and you want it to be alive. And in order to make it alive, you use the pictures.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So where do you see your photography going?
I have a vision. I don't know if the vision will ever come true, to be honest. I think I've thought about all what many people thought about was like calendars, like framework, just framing them. I've done like my nature photography. I wanted to do girly things like craft fairs and things, which I still want to do all those things. But I don't know. Right now, it's just like I'm so involved in my raising my son and then see what I'll do after that, Yeah. So I don't know. It's more just having fun. It's just, because I feel like everybody has to get in touch with that child again. No matter what, like how old you are, I don't care how old you are, just get in that touch with that child like sense again. And that's the most important thing. So it doesn't matter what you do with it. So
Ernie asked what type of camera you use, but you said you just use your phone, right?
I do just use my phone. I edit, which I've actually been editing a lot more, which I would never been too much into editing, but I just use the apps that are on the phone. I don't have a real regular camera, to be honest. I only have I use a basic one, but they're too complicated. So
you can do so much on your camera, on your phone now.
You can. And depending what phone you use, like it's just, so that's what I use right now, but.
Yeah. Lone wolf wants in nature as in wilderness? Like how far out you going?
Because
Me?
he
All
says
you
he
guys, I
lives,
guess.
he
I don't
lives
know.
in an apartment, but people
Yeah.
don't realize you can go if you're in the city, you can go and there's trees in the city, there's little bushes, whatever. You can go stick a figure in the tree and take a
Yeah.
picture. So I was responding to him saying,
Yeah.
you can do simple things.
Doesn't have to be deep in the woods.
No,
I
and
mean,
people want perfect, like
People's-
themselves. They want perfect. Oh, these people are doing perfect photography. It's not about perfection. It's about what you really like, what you want, what's drawn to you, what excites you. That's it. So I was kind of just responding to him about that.
Yeah. Angelo, how many times do you take a picture of one thing before you get that picture?
When truthfully, I take over 300 plus pictures per one of my mini comics, just to try to get the right ones, because if I can't see that, a lot of times if I can't, just looking at it from on the phone, or if I do have it on the camera, you can't really tell from that little small 1x2 image until you get it home and you put it on a bigger screen. And so then you're like, oh man, it's blurry, or oh, I got the wrong angle, oh, there's my foot, or there's so I take 300 plus pictures per 15-page comic, which I'm trying to think of how many pictures are on each page. You got three to five depending. So yeah, I take a lot of photos, and my knees pay the price, my back, because you got to get down there, and you got to get the shot. So a lot of times I'll be bringing either the little knee pads, or I'll bring a little pad to kneel on or lay down on, because you want to get that shot, and you want it to look a certain way. A lot of the top down shots that you see sometimes, people, because they're older and they can't get down on their knees, and everything is done from a top down, and you lose, you don't have that perspective. Ask Rick. Rick is right down in it, and it makes it look larger than life. And it throws that perspective and that scale into more 1-to-1 than it is 1/12 or 1/6 scale.
Sure.
Yeah, it depends on what you're trying to show. Like a whole story, that that takes a lot of shots.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to just do one picture, I mean, I've shot as many as 100 pics for one thing, just for one picture.
Yeah.
And then I've shot 5 or 6 pictures and managed to get a really nice one. So it just depends.
See, I've never gone more than maybe 15 pictures. 15, 20 pictures, if that.
But just to get that one, right?
Just to get that, yes, to get that one. But
Yeah.
I mean, and I guess I'm not looking for perfection like, many people do. And some people do this for business. I don't do this for business. I do this for fun.
Sure. Yeah,
so
it's for fun.
It's a difference, So I say like 15 pictures, I've learned, because you can't get down, you have, like Angela said, you have to do several shots, because you can't get down on that ground, or if you lay down, it's like, okay, you can't get back up, So yeah, I get it.
Sure.
And some of them go away, like all the pictures.
So what's your favorite thing? This goes to all you guys. This question goes to all you guys. What's your favorite thing to photograph? What's your... I mean, I know you said your nature, but I mean, if you had to pick one thing to put in that nature picture, what would it be? Is it?
I mean,
I love snow pictures. Snow pictures are great. There's just something about, in the elements and with the snow, there's just that something about the crispness and the purity and this with the snow. And if you get a really good snow shot, I love water shots. If you're down, like I said, I go down by the creek a lot. Love to see the shots with the running water in the background. Those types of things. And it's always with G.I. Joe. With me, it's either the 1/6 or the 1/12 lately, but being out in the elements with the figure, that's the best.
Rick, what about you?
Well, if I think about it, I like going outside because natural light is the best to shoot in.
Yeah.
A nice cloudy day. But I can shoot any kind of figures. It doesn't, it could be little purple-headed dolls or, giant G.I. Joes. I look for texture in the background, a nice background. And you find something like a tree trunk or the corner of a building or something, and it's got this really nice texture.
Yeah.
I think that's what I like to try to bring out.
Neat.
Yeah.
Moondoggy, what about you, man?
With me, I mean, I like my pictures to be kind of some type of drama happening. Mostly I want it to be dramatic. And as you know, like I do mine inside. I feel I like bringing the outside in, I guess, because all the trees you see there, rocks, everything is just real stuff I took from outside and brought it inside. Besides the sand or snow, I use foam or for the snow and that tan paper and stuff to make the sand with the desert looking places. But mostly I just like them to be dramatic. Mostly like something kind of eerie is about to
Action.
happen or some action is about to happen like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drama in 132nd Toy Soldiers.
Yeah,
Saying.
I have some ideas already. I'm just working on stuff. I'm working on stuff. I like to paint and draw and stuff like that. So that's why I get a lot of I like doing stuff indoors because I feel like I'm building it. I like to build it, take it down, build something else, and take it down, build it something else. I like to paint the backgrounds. Like right now, I'm trying to do something in space. So I got this big old box where I want to paint it all black, make like a space, and put it in the background, like stars and stuff, and something simple, nothing crazy, just black and just kind of spray paint it a little bit, kind of like with white, make it look like stars. But that's what I'm working on right now. I'm working on making a lot of space stuff, and I don't know. I got some ideas coming up. You'll see them soon. And
Edmund, if you,
I also like taking pictures of different figures too. I usually post the different ones in Rick's group in the action figure playhouse.
Edmund,
Good
sorry,
work,
go ahead.
Edmund. No, I was going to say Edmund does some really good work. I love his
Thank
work.
you. Thank you.
All you guys do, man. All you guys do.
Thank you, Edmund. I was just when you were talking about space. One time I tried to do like a alien-esque scene. So if you had like the black cardboard box you were talking about, if you take some spray foam insulation and you spray that and the waviness of it, like the worm's tube looking how it would look, and you spray that on the walls, the background, and even the floor of it, wait till it hardens, and then you spray paint it and get some shadows in there. That looks really badass. I mean, some really, really cool shots can be made, and it can be a really alien terrain.
Oh wow! Yeah, I'll ask you. I'll ask you a messenger to make sure like I get the right foam or something like that because I'm not.
Yeah, any type of spray foam. It comes with a little thin straw-looking nozzle, and just let it go, man. It really swells up. So just a little goes a long way.
Okay.
Oh, Rick, the guy that you invited tomorrow, Russ Arundel, he's a toy photographer too, right? I mean, big time.
Yeah, he does.
I know he's an author, but I mean, he's a toy photographer as well.
Yeah, he likes to do what you would call composite shots, where he layers stuff on pictures. So his style is very unique.
Yeah.
He's not just setting figures up and taking a picture. He's takes a picture of a backdrop, and then he adds figures to it, and he edits and he photoshops, and like it's quite a process.
That's a lot of work.
So I'm anxious to talk to him tomorrow night. But
yeah, he does some.
Michele, what are you taking pictures of next? Do you have a project lined up?
I don't have a project.
No.
It's all just, as it flows.
You're gonna have to get to the thrift store. So you're gonna go to the antique shop and go get some new toys.
I know someone's selling a collection.
No, I don't want to buy anything.
You'll have to get some shelves.
If you want to get started in toy soldiers, I can get you started in that. I mean,
it's not that I like actually a lot of the soldiers, but I don't know how to, because I feel like you have to present those properly. And I don't know how to, because I don't know much about it. So it's like, if I research it, then I would present them properly.
Yeah.
Because there's many times I've actually asked my son, I'm like, okay, what is this guy? What does he do? How do I photograph him? And he's actually helped me, to photograph certain soldiers, because I don't know how to
Yeah.
photograph them. And I feel like if you're going to present them, you're going to present them properly.
So a lot of my pictures, I do a lot of research. I mean, it easy comes. The military ones come easy because I was in the military, so it's kind of easy. But a lot of other stuff that I take pictures of, like for example, I'm gonna use Rick's figure, which is a samurai. So if I'm gonna take a picture of some samurais, like I do some research. I start looking into it, looking what they wear, how the sword goes, how they grab it. I start looking at all that stuff before I take a picture of it.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
I do the same thing.
I've been doing that more. Like in the beginning, I was just like, oh, this looks good. This looks great. That's photography. But now I've been trying to hold the sword properly, hold the stance, like the legs properly, like bend their legs so it's properly proportioned, with everything else. And so I've been learning, but I've only been in this for a couple months. So it's
just a fun hobby to do, though.
Well, with the soldiers, you don't ever have to worry about only doing them in action. Rick has done the human element with soldiers a great deal. The soldier holding a puppy, or Frankenstein holding a flower with the little girl. Something that it brings out the human aspect of a soldier in the battle, and how they truly feel. Not always the blood and gore and the fighting part. So you could really rock that out, especially in the nature and with your flowers and those backgrounds.
Yep.
Yeah, and I got guys that do, the toy photography with just the toy soldiers, and they'll put in whatever they want. They'll have Civil War guys with Revolutionary War guys. You know what I mean? And people will comment and be like, "That never happened," or "They didn't have that gun in that war." It's like, it's my freaking setup. I'm not making a particular battle scene exactly the way it happened. I'm doing what I want to do.
But that's the pitfall of military stuff. There's always
critics
and the nitpickers.
Yep.
Yeah,
I learned that the hard way.
So you say, "Oh, me too, Rick." You got to stay. That's when you stay away from those sites, because they really do nitpick. The patch is on the wrong way. I remember I built this beautiful model. It was a 1/6 scale, 251 half track, German half track, and it was huge. And I didn't like the way it was coming out, so I tweaked it a little bit, and I put some rocket carriages on it. And they're like, "Well, the fender didn't look like that on the D model or whatever." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." I'm like, "I don't care what it." I'm like, "I have a good time." He goes, "Oh, that wouldn't have looked good. You should have put that way out in the background, because that would have." I'm like, "You guys are dicks." So I'm like, I'm having fun taking pictures, but that's why you got to stay away from certain sites, because if they're a historian or historic and they need that, so be it. Maybe they got a little degree and they put at the bottom of their little email, dumbass, whatever. Sorry.
Yeah, some people are too much. I have I saw a guy, I can't remember his name. He just posted not long ago in the groups. He was posting about these paratroopers, and he did like a little story, nothing written, just kind of picture story. And the way he posed the figures, he put them laying down, the way he was laying down, and talk like if one was like saying something to the other one, because I was a paratrooper. So when I looked at the pictures, I was like, this guy has to be a paratrooper, because that's exactly what we do when we're not in the plane. And so I did ask him. I was like, "Are you a paratrooper?" And he was like, "No, my dad and my uncle were."
Yeah.
And he was like, I watched a lot of them, a lot of the things they did. And he was himself in the military, but he wasn't a paratrooper. But all the pictures I thought it was amazing how he captured everything. Was perfect. Everything, even coming out of the plane, landing and picking up the gear, everything was just perfect. Just like it really is. Well, I can't remember his name. I wish I could remember his name, but it was recently. He posted recently about it.
Those are the kind of details that put your photo over the top.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do military stuff, one of the things I did learn was do some research first. So you do have the right guys in the right situation. And somebody can't say, "Well, those SS troops weren't there. They were down south or something." So I do a little research. That shuts those guys up.
Don't put a lot of
It gives you a
Yeah,
little.
I'm not. When I see military and if and it's off, I'm not that type of guy who's like, hey, that's wrong. I'll say I don't care either because I do the same thing.
I don't
You know,
care
I
either,
don't.
but it is cool though to do something and you know that it's kind of accurate, So
Mhm.
it's just a different way
Yeah.
of doing it. Of course, there weren't dinosaurs in World War II, but there are in
Yep.
my pictures.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, come on. UFOs in World War II, right? I
That's
mean,
right.
it could
That's
happen.
right.
Well, there were
Yeah.
UFOs in World War II.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
There's
And see, Michele, you were worried about trying to fill up 45 minutes. Look at this, man. We're already almost at the top of the hour already.
yeah.
Yeah, you helped me.
Well,
So
appreciate you coming on tonight.
Michelle's been contributing to the Playhouse quite a bit. I appreciate that, and everyone seems to enjoy your work. Lots of a lot of comments. That's good. I like to see that because Michelle's a fairly new. She's new on the scene, and
Let's not scare her away, right?
yeah, the members in the group, they're
No, I enjoy everybody's. I learned from everybody that's
Yeah.
on there, and I comment, because I really do learn from everybody, and it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
that's the idea. That's what we like to promote in the Playhouse. Especially if you're a newbie,
Mhm.
right, Edmund?
Yeah, that's Rick's. Rick. I mean, when I went into Rick's group, I had been in other groups before, and his group to me, it's like the best out there when it comes to all action figures and everything. It's just really, you feel welcome. Rick immediately, if he sees something, if he could guide you somehow, some way, he will. He really, takes care of everybody, all the newbies that come in when they do come in. And so.
Because they
But it's very playful too.
Yeah.
I think it's just playful. It's just brings that childlike feeling out. Not, you don't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
You just
Yep.
play.
Yep.
That's the vibe there. Yeah, that's the vibe there. Because I've been in other groups where they criticize every single thing, and I'm like, you know what? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
It takes the fun out of it. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not having fun anymore.
Yeah, I've left plenty of groups because of that.
Yeah.
So it's good. Well, I'm glad.
So you the man,
Yeah,
Rick. See,
See
you
what you
the
started,
man.
Rick?
Come to the Playhouse.
The play.
Yeah.
Angelo, any last words? Any?
I think you guys. I think we did a great job. I think that
I know.
Michelle is a great contributor to the hobby and the photography, and
Yep.
look forward to seeing more from her. And can't wait till when she actually branches out to the 1/6 scale, and then we'll send her some GI Joes her way.
Andy and Indy
Yeah,
said
I got
we
some
should
I could
send
get
her
rid of.
I saw Andy and Indy posted earlier. He said we should send her a Paul Knapp head. I don't know if we want to. I don't know if we want to go there yet, Andy.
I don't know if we're
Yeah, I
ready for
know.
that
We don't want
yet.
to scare away. She just got started. It's a new hobby for her, man.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. As long as like I said, as long as it's fun, and this is our hobby is the best therapy out there.
Yep.
It does cost a little bit when we're buying our toys and we're taking our pictures, but it's our time, like Michelle said, to relive that childhood, that innocence of imagination and creativity, and just enjoy it and just have
Right.
fun.
Right.
Is that-
Yeah.
Yep.
And Michelle, just to confirm, you're not a dealer. You're not a artist. You didn't work for Hasbro. You're just a regular old Joe that was in the chat room, right? Okay.
Yes,
Because we get a lot of
absolutely.
people that are in the chat rooms that are like, oh, I'm not going to go on the show because I'm not Cotswold. I'm not a dealer. I haven't collected for 50 years. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, hey, this show is just for anybody that watches and wants to come on and,
Just
You
a
don't have-
conversation.
yeah, you don't have a wall behind you full of GI Joes. That's okay.
You see what my wall
Yeah,
is like.
I mean-
Look, that's my wall. I mean, I have art on the other wall because I
And
do
that's
love art.
okay.
So if I turn the photo around, you'd see actually more
Because
stuff.
I get guys that I've been trying to talk on the show for the last 3 years and they still shy away. But so I'm glad you did it. You took the leap of faith and I appreciate that. And come on again. Now that you've been a special guest, you can come on and be a panel member anytime you like.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night in TST, Toy Soldier Tuesday. We can get you collecting toy soldiers too, just like Edmund.
Yep. He got me. He got me.
I'll give it a shot. I'll give it
So
a
where
shot.
can I know you don't have a YouTube channel, but where can people find your pictures that you're putting up?
Well, I haven't made the toy pictures yet, which I'm going to, but just I have my regular photography pictures, which
That's fine. Where can they find
is
them?
nature's _10 on Instagram.
Okay.
Facebook, I don't have a Facebook. I have my personal Facebook, and then I go on the Playhouse, and that's it. So on Playhouse, you'll see all my toy photography because I post everything there.
And that's Rick's. That's one Rick runs.
Yeah.
Rick,
Yep.
what's the name of your channel?
Angela, what's the name of my
You don't even know your own
Playhouse.
channel.
the Action Figure Playhouse? That's Edmund owns. I should make Edmund an admin on there.
Yes, you should. That's a good idea.
Somebody would know what they're doing.
All right. All right. Well, once again, thanks again. Thanks for coming on. And Rick,
Yeah.
let's see if you can remember. Who's our guest for tomorrow for Toy Soldier Tuesday?
Russ Arundel.
And how do you know him?
I met him through Facebook when he started posting his toy photography.
Yep.
And I thought he was pretty cool. He did talk about someone who got some criticism. He did. And but
And
he stuck with it. He's one of those guys that said, fuck you, I'm doing my own thing.
Oh, yeah,
So,
he's a prior Army tank driver. I saw that, so I don't think he gives a fuck about anybody.
Right.
no,
And he wrote a couple books too, so I'm looking forward to
Cool.
looking forward to him tomorrow night. So join us tomorrow.
Yep.
Once again, Michele D. We'll see you in the chat room, or we'll have you back on in the panel.
nice show. Good show.
I
All
hope
right.
so.
Don't
All
forget
right.
tomorrow, TST Toy Soldier Tuesday. Everybody, have a good one.
Good night.
All right.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots.